To serve their practical function, it suffices that they do not contain any internal impossibility, contradiction. Here we have a ground of assent which, in comparison to the speculative reason, is only subjective, but which is just as valid objectively to a practical but equally pure reason. Thus, through the concept of freedom, the ideas of God and immortality gain objective reality and legitimacy and indeed subjective necessity, as a need of pure reason. Reason is not hereby extended, however, in its theoretical knowledge. The only thing which is different is that the possibility which was heretofore a problem now becomes an assertion, and the practical use of reason is thus connected with the elements of theoretical reason. This need is not just a hypothetical one for some arbitrary speculative purpose, of the kind that to avoid having anyone imagine that there is an inconsistency when I say that freedom is the condition of the moral law, and later assert that the moral law is the only condition under which freedom can be known, I will only remind the reader that, though freedom is certainly the ratio essendi of the moral law, the latter is the ratio cognoscendi of freedom. For had not the moral law already been distinctly thought in our reason, we would never have been justified in assuming anything like freedom, even though it is not self-contradictory. But if there were no freedom, the moral law would never have been encountered in us. Of these concepts is different from that required by speculative reason. So far from being incoherent, the highly consistent structure of the Critique of Pure Reason is very satisfyingly revealed here. For in that work, the objects of experience as such, including even our own subject, were explained as only appearances, though as based upon things in themselves. Consequently, even in that critique it was emphasized that the supersensible was not mere fancy, and that its concepts were not empty. Now, practical reason itself, without any collusion with the speculative, provides reality to a supersensible object of the category of causality, that is, to freedom. This is a practical concept and as such is subject only to practical use. But what in the speculative critique could only be thought is now confirmed by fact. The strange but incontrovertible assertion of the speculative critique, that the thinking subject is only an appearance to itself in inner intuition, now finds its full confirmation in the Critique of Practical Reason. The establishment of this thesis is here so cogent that one would be compelled to accept it even if the first had not already proved it.